Brand new Hockey Happy Hour coming at you right now. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button, get it out there for everybody. We got the Flyers and the Islanders 2-1 here at the start of the second period on the 4-on-4. Let's go. Time to talk some puck.
Oh my God!
Embarrassed!
He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live on a2dradio.com. I am Matt Sitsuti, along with the Dark Wing, Brian Daly.
What's up, everybody?
And the one and only Mr. Broadway, Mr. Brad Ryder. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very interesting show ahead of us, a fun show, hopefully, where we'll have the Flyers and the Islanders. I know Brad is a huge fan of the Islanders, so of course, any chance he gets to, see a team face off with the Islanders is always a good time. But tonight, Flyers and Islanders, live reactions brought to you by Dr. Paul Vidal over at Specialized Physical Therapy. If you have any aches and pains that you need to get taken care of, go to specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Schedule an appointment on over to either Cherry Hill or Burlington, New Jersey, and, get those aches and pains taken care of after all the issues that you've been having, and you'll feel like new. So that's what Dr. Paul Vidal can do for you. So check him out. All right then, gentlemen, we're here in the second period, 17 minutes and 30 seconds from my count, and it is 2-1 Flyers. Flyers got the most recent goal off of a weird shot that came in from the face-off, and Kevin Hayes was able to score after a couple of strange bounces in the face-off circle that just led to the puck landing on his stick, and he shot it right through, I believe it is Sorokin who's in net tonight.
Sure is.
And, yeah, since then it's been a 2-1 Flyers here, so should be interesting to see how this game carries on. Hopefully the Flyers can, they almost had one right there. A couple of opportunities there. Unfortunately, didn't go exactly the way they wanted to. But not only that, of course, we have our poll question that is brought to you by none other than easy for me to say, right? Boagios, which is located. Let me just pull them up right here. Of course, my computer likes to be slow. Here we go. Boagios Breads, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best breads and sandwiches that you're going to find there. 10% off of your order if you mention A2D. So go check them out. Go get yourself some nice orders. And Thanksgiving may have passed, but there is another feast that is coming up, and that is the Christmas feast. No matter what kind you're going to have, go to Boagios Breads and make sure that you get only the quality stuff. That's what we want you guys to get. We don't want you to just go to anybody. Don't just go to your local grocery store and go grab the regular old brand. Go to the experts for that kind of stuff. All right then. And the poll question for tonight is: the Islanders are a huge surprise this season. Agree or disagree? Obviously, the Islanders have played very well and they have managed to hold on to second place in the Metro. And so far, it's been pretty surprising considering the fact that last year and the year before that the Islanders didn't play all that well. Now all of a sudden it seems like they're back to handling their business real well here during the regular season. Gentlemen, do you agree? Have the Islanders been a surprise to you?
Put myself on mute there for a second. So, I mean, I agree to the poll. I'm sort of. I don't necessarily think this is a big surprise. I think we knew already what this team was capable of. I think Lane Lambert taking over as the head coach has really been able to help open up this team's speed. And for the most part, the Islanders have been able to utilize it, and it's led to a bunch of goals this year. You know, Brock Nelson's having a great year, despite the fact he only has 2 goals all season long. You know, Matt Barzell, second in assists. So, you know, we the only questions I really had for this team were offensively for the team's success. Defensively, you know, this team for the most part is a lock, and you're really getting some really strong play out of Ilya Sorokin. And you know, he's early on right now. He's a top 3 in the Vezina conversation, but you know, there's still a lot of hockey left to be played. But yeah, at this moment, would I necessarily say there's really a surprise? I mean, being second in the division right now, I think is the only thing that surprises me about this team right now. So, in ways, yes, I absolutely agree with the poll.
All right, then. On to Brett. How do you feel about the Islanders? Are they a surprise for you this season with how they've played?
I'll tell you what. I think last year, you can understand what happened last year. First 13 games are on the road. Obviously, that's going to be a problem. Games on the road. They come back home. COVID. So, right away, games in a row at home. And then half the team pull their minor leaguers up. So they're playing. So, of course, they fall behind. Okay, they make a few in February and March, but there's 20 points behind because they got up and catch. They couldn't catch the Penguins. You know, Washington. I mean, it was really a postone with a 100-point season to get to, and you get off to a start that the Islanders. It just it almost. They showed the middle of January that they were. Now, why they fired Trotz, I get further into that later. But apparently, they're responding to their new coach. They're not surprised at all. I thought that they were going to make the playoffs. Not a surprise to me. I think that they're a really good defensive team play against it. And they've got all the tools. Very difficult out.
Gotcha. All right, then. So, right now, where we're at, the Islanders have managed they've managed to pull things back together for the most part. For me, my answer would probably be that the Islanders are a bit of a surprise for me, only because it seemed like that this team was going to have a bit of a rough go of it after they got rid of Trotz, and I thought, well, Trotz is it seemed like he was the glue that was making the Islanders function. However, though, I think they're proving that maybe there's a little bit more going on there than just a really good coach getting a hold of some talented players. And it seemed like they finally were starting to piece things back together, and maybe they do have some long-term solutions to some issues that they've been having for the better part of a decade. Maybe there's more going on than just a coach getting some talented the players making a couple of good seasons out of it. But I would still say they're a surprise because I thought that they were still going to have some problems rolling into this year.
Well, I mean, you got to go into this
So
season.
let's see here. Let's take a look at what the fan.
Oh wow, we really
How about that delay? Go ahead, Brian. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
No, it's all good, dude. So I mean, obviously we knew what this team was defensively last year. You know, they're really strong on the defensive side. They back check really well. They play physical. You know, Sorokin wasn't as having a good year as he is this year. And like I said, for me, he's an early Vezina candidate. You know, the big question for this team was, you know, what was this offense going to look like? You know, they were in on Johnny Gaudreau, but you know had no cap space to bring him in. Apparently, according to Johnny, at least, they never sent him an offer or whatever. But that's a whole other story. Anyway, you know, they didn't really make any changes during this offseason to really improve them. So you really had to rely on some of your key guys getting back into form. You know, Brock Nelson, like I said, having a great year. Matty Barzell, he's the second best setup man in hockey right now. Anders Lee, his presence on the ice is just second to none. So, you know, you need to rely on those guys. One of the things that I think is really helping is the fact that the Islanders' penalty kill is so freaking good. 82.7% going into the game tonight. That's fourth best in the NHL. Just absolutely ridiculous penalty kill. And I tell you guys all the time, you know, special teams leads you to championships. And, you know, when you can kill off penalties, you're going to win games. And that's exactly what they're doing.
So, you know, you get the Islanders learning how that special team's functioning. That seems to be going the right way, and they're fixing a lot of the issues that they were having over the previous couple of years. And right now, so far, they're making the most of their situation. They're making most of the fact of, you know what, let's take advantage of the fact that they're the usual suspects in the Metro are kind of having a hard time this year. I mean, some of them are rounding back into form, but a few of them are still kind of having their issues. And so it's like, all right, this is our chance, boys. Let's get back into the winning side of things, and let's get back into the swing of things, get back into the playoffs. Still very early, but again, the Islanders are trying to make the most of their opportunity here, knowing that some of the more commonplace competitive teams are having a bit of a hard go of it to start the year off. So let's take a look and see what the fam is saying here. Jake's saying, what's up, boys? Tank for Bedard. Let's go. Jake much still behind the whole 10 side of things. Meanwhile, Rob saying, already have plenty of other talented players. You don't need Bedard. You got plenty.
Think about it, Matty Bedard, Trevor Zegras, and Mason McTavish all on the same line. It's a Ducks fan wet dream.
Oh, I know. I'm not arguing. I am very, very well aware of the talent level there, but you know, I would like a bone thrown to Philly every once in a while. That'd be nice. Can't all go out to California. I mean, look at it. Anaheim's got talent to immediately come into a nice little spot there, but goddamn it, we got to have some franchise player. At least one. Just one would be nice.
Right now,
makes you feel any better. Yeah, I know, right? If only. If only you could have that. I think we should all be so lucky. So let's see here. Rob saying, I'm a year late. Bet them to win the last year. Bet the Rangers this year. Brad, how do you feel about that?
I'm very embarrassed with the Rangers watching them play. they and the fact that they has got me so mad. Yeah, okay. And my head is ready to explode over that backbone of your team. I don't care how much they're struggling. You move any team that's worth their salt to protect them, and now they have nobody. They're going to get what they deserve, which is thinking ain't good now. I can beat the crap out of everybody again. Every other enforcer. So, at this point, I'm pointing the finger, and I'm pointing the finger. You are fucking up this team, and simple. Okay.
All
So sure,
right.
Gallant is gonna Gallant is this doesn't change really fast.
Gotcha. All right,
They
then.
come like a 2-0 lead, and then they give up a row. I mean, come on, Bulls are pretty good, but you know what? I'm not a fool, especially defensively. I am not a believer. I'm not a believer in the Devils. We'll see.
All right, then. We'll definitely see as the season goes along whether or not the Devils and the Islanders can hold off. If they can, or the Devils and the Bruins, like you were saying, we'll see if they are fake. They're phonies. We'll see if that holds to be true. And obviously the Rangers having some issues, but ebbs and flows of the season. We'll see if things rear back once the second half gets going here, because we still have a whole second half of the season. We're not even, what would you say, maybe a quarter of the way through the first half of the season, maybe not even. So it's still got a long ways to go before we're ready to start filling out playoff slots and brackets and such like that. So there's still plenty of time. Hey, there's Greg.
Yeah, it's about a quarter of the way. 22 games for the Flyers, 23 for the Islanders.
Yeah. So there's still time left to make up for lost ground and what have you. All right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Rob was saying, is Bedard really that good? Yes, he is.
Franchise
He
changer.
is really that good. Oh, yeah. So there's not really a debate there. Meanwhile, DG, a little negativity here, saying, remember when this show wasn't sad earlier this season, and dare I say excited? Come on, Flyers. What the fuck? Losing streak. Yeah, we've all been wanting them to end the losing streak. I mean, honestly, I'll be completely honest. I don't want to say that I saw this coming, but I think most of us idea that they were probably going to come back down to earth. The way that the season began, you had to think in the back of your head, like, this is not sustainable. Like the way that they've played the game, the way that they've been, they were playing aggressively, and I think they still are. It's just that the way they were getting wins and such like that, it's like, okay, is this sustainable? Can they keep this up? One of the main factors to that was Hart, and I think Hart, everything goes through streaks, and I think Hart had a couple of rough games here and there. It happens. It happens to every goaltender in the league, and unfortunately, the team had some rough games too, where they played off the defense and some bad turnovers, and leaving Hart out on land again. It's like, I hate to say it, it's kind of like Rob called it too. It's like by November it was probably going to happen, and he wasn't wrong. They came back down to earth. It was going to happen at some point. It wasn't going to last forever.
No, yeah, and that's one of the big things that's kind of, I don't want to necessarily say they've been brought down to earth. They were more like body slammed back down to earth. And a lot of it is, like you said, Matty, Hart's had a couple bad games here and there. But for me, it's just been the defense hasn't been as good. They're, like you said, they're turning over the puck. They're not really winning the battles in their zone. The effort on the offensive side has been there. They've had no scoring touch. That's been a big problem as well. I mean, if you look at their goal differential, they went from being fairly even to minus 21 in the last few games. So a lot of it is coming down to just poor defense, inability to score on the power play, which they have the worst power play in the league. I think they said going into tonight's game, they were like 2 for 35 in the last 5 games or something. Like they don't even have a power play going in the last 5 games. So I mean, that's the inability to take advantage of having the power play. It's really hurting this team, and this is still one of the worst teams on the penalty kill too. This special teams is absolutely killing this team.
No, you're right. They've been lackluster, and you can't have lackluster penalty kills and power plays. You gotta take advantage of when a team makes a mistake, and you've got to be able to kill off penalties better than you have. It's been how many games have we seen where it's like, okay, they're in it, then they take a bad penalty, and then the team tie. Then you know what? Actually, I think one of the best examples was that Montreal game. They had Montreal, and then with like 4 seconds left to go, Montreal pushed and scored on a power play, tied the game up. Then they won on a shootout, and it's like Jesus. That's a perfect example of how this season's gone or at least this November has gone for the Flyers. It's been so very close, and then it all falls apart towards the end of the game. They just cannot land properly.
Well, I mean, good example to that is also tonight. I mean, let's be real. Tonight didn't start off that. They started off 2 fights, and then 2 bad penalties. You wind up on the power play. You wind up on the penalty kill early. You give up a 5-on-3. You give up a goal in that.
Right.
You put yourself down early. Granted, it was still early enough in the game to make it change and be able to make a difference and answer back, which was great for Travis Anheim scoring on the shorthanded opportunity that he had. But you can't win games in the penalty box. You got to stay disciplined. You got to be able to stay out of the box. And to Morgan Frost, at the end of the first period, being able to draw a penalty there, like they got to be able to draw more penalties as well. And that's where not having TK in this lineup tonight really, really hurts.
Gotcha. Brad, in your opinion, what do you think the Flyers' main culprit has been in terms of, do you think it's the special teams? Do you think it's defense, goaltending? What do you think has been the main issue with the Flyers crashing back down to earth here in the month of November?
I think that the goaltending had great goaltending tonight. They're going to make a big push. We saw that a couple of weeks ago. I had the Ranger Islander game on a 3-1 lead in the third period. I mean, they make a big push, and that I also think that the Flyers need. I'm going to give you an example of the different, like for example, the Boston Bruins right now is clicking at 29, which is second in the league. That's literally they score on 3 of every scary good. Okay, there's got to start scoring on the power play. I mean, they're very offensively right now. Okay, they have out couple, and they've got to. I mean, that's the time you have to make up for. Just play tough 5-on-5 and not and that's what they're gonna need. But they're gonna need great goaltending to come at some point.
Right.
And hopefully it happens. But want to see the Flyers end up losing to the Islanders, get beaten by the fun for us Ranger fans to because we haven't had much to brag on lately.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, and honestly, yeah, goaltending is going to have part of a bounce back, but also defense. There are a number of factors that got to come into play here that got to turn things around for the Flyers, get them back into into a more promising situation if they want to bounce back here. I mean, although I will admit I am somewhat divided on it because I feel like, you know what? And it's sad to say this. When we were losing to the Penguins 4-1, I kind of wasn't really all that mad. And a part of me is like, you know what? That's okay. Just take victory laps on us. I want a great draft pick. Fuck it. I don't care. Just take victory laps all day. I will say that to me just feels like, you know what? I don't know what to say. It's just like, you know what? I want a better draft pick. It's like, okay, fine, beat me. I don't care. I want a great player. We need someone to fill in the hole that Giroux left. So
listen, get it. So this is, I mean, we've been praising this draft class for, God, at least a year and a half now. A lot of big names coming out in this draft. So there is one player that, I mean, I don't see the Flyers falling out of the top three. Or I'm sorry, above the top three. I think Bryce is here. Bryce is spot on. I think they're going to be somewhere between a top 5 and a top 3 pick. There's a Russian kid that's coming out in this draft who is a pure Ovechkin-like goal scorer. I'm talking like this. I'll get his name for you too. Y'all can look him up on Elite Prospects or HockeyReference.com or wherever it is you want to check him out. This kid is so elite, and he's been elite since a very young age. His name is Matvei Michkov, and he is going to be an elite goal scorer in this league. He's projected to be a top 3 pick. He will not fall out of the top 5. If he does, he really fell apart this year. But this kid is an elite goal scorer, and that's one thing we've been preaching for the Flyers for the last few years is finding an elite goal scorer. Speaking of, you know, I mean, we can sit here and say that the Flyers suck, Bryce, and, you know, it's hard to disagree with that. Injuries aren't helping. On the positive note, Cam Atkinson comes back this week. They're saying he will be back. He's already skating full contact, that he will be back as early as Thursday. So that's going to be huge for the Flyers offensively moving forward, is getting their shoot-first goal scorer back, who found a way to score 23 goals last year.
Gotcha. By the way, Nation, Benny, of course, and what's up, Chucks? What's up, Tommy? What's up, everybody? And what's up, Rosca? And
Ted, I feel like we
Ted
go through this every week. You always ask me what channel's the game on.
ESPN Plus. It's an exclusive, I believe. So
always asking what channel the game's on. Come on, Ted. Get with it.
It's all right. It happens.
It's every
like
week with them. What do you
Flyers
mean it
are,
happens?
you know,
It's every
on
week.
some-
What channel's the game on?
Hey, listen, we don't like to yell at our fam here. We wanna treat them well.
Well, I mean, Ted started it. Ted started it first.
All right. Okay, I can't argue against that. But saying, even with a potential top 5 Chuck to make the selection or continue the building of this team, I mean, honestly, Chuck Fletcher, unfortunate with him, he ain't going anywhere. I mean, unless this team really falls into some black hole, and I don't think he's going anywhere. I think that they're still sold on his idea of the team, and unfortunately, that's just how it is. I hate to say that, but it's kind of true. Then again, who knows? I mean, if the Flyers make the playoffs this year, and I really, part of me kind of hopes they don't. You know, it's weird to say that. I kind of like if we make the playoffs, it does more damage than actually helps. But in the end of the day, it's actually that's bad. when it gets to that point with your franchise, like I don't even know if we should make the playoffs. We should just miss. But in the end, I would say we're kind of still with them at this point, right now. Bryce saying true on the injuries, and Ted saying, do you really trust Russia to let him come? It's Bedard or Adam, at least for us. Or Adam Fantelli. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Fantelli for us. Well, I don't know.
I don't even think he's playing in Russia right now.
I guess maybe
No,
they're
he's not.
worried
He's not
that
even
he'll
playing in
get.
Russia. He's under contract for the
where's he
SKA
playing?
St. Petersburg of the Continental Hockey League. Oh yeah, no, he is playing in the KHL. But if he gets drafted, they don't.
I mean, I guess worried that either they. I mean,
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about
Russia.
Russia.
Worried that he will. I guess maybe they're worried he'll get drafted. That's the only thing I can think of.
I'm not worried about the kid.
But
I mean, let's be real. It's not like it's the goalie situation where. It's not like it's a goalie situation where I think he had already enlisted or something like that, and they tried to keep him there to serve his time, but. You never know.
I mean, I'm not sure. I hopefully that is not what happens. Hopefully, but we'll see. We don't really know what the future holds until draft day. What we have, And Ted is asking if the Flyers are on. No, ESPN Plus is a streaming service. So yeah, if you have a subscription, then yes, you can get the game. Don't have your subscription, so unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to. And
we're about 2 minutes left here in the second period. It's still a 2-1 game.
Yeah, I feel like this game is it's very back and forth. Both teams kind of even with each other. I mean, there were some opportunities for the Islanders, opportunities for the Flyers. Hart made a really nice save. Soroka made a few good ones as well. It's been a pretty evenly matched up game here. Question is how will the third period do? Flyers have had a tendency to kind of fall apart in the third period. Hopefully that trend does not continue. They've had great second periods. They've done very well in the second period. Unfortunately, we're getting to the end of the second period.
Ooh, that was a good opportunity there by Noah Cates, able to pick up his own rebound. But yeah, I mean, Matty, to build off of what you're saying, the offensive forecheck was a lot better in the first period, which led to more offensive zone time, which is great for the Flyers. It led to another goal by Kevin Hayes. But it's been a very more evenly matched game here. The Islanders have definitely made their adjustments and have kept the Flyers from having any kind of real sustained offensive zone time here. Defensively, they've been playing a lot better on the back check. Oh, there's a big turnover there. Oh, Delirier with a great chance got tripped up. It's gonna be
Yeah, it's a penalty.
Call somebody for interference, not tripping.
Johansson. Or no, not Johansson, actually.
Pellick? You said number 3. Yep.
Yeah, I think it might. 3. Yeah, it's Pellick.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay,
absolutely
so the Flyers have a power play chance. Yeah. Call there. Jesus, we're last in the NHL again on the power play. Christ almighty.
Yep. And the fact that you're worse than Anaheim, it blows my mind. Oh,
Oh,
said like what a great opportunity.
I know, just so
Ooh, that
many
hurt.
great chances there. It's just a true. Yeah, Mayfield's down for a moment, but he's getting back up.
Yeah, it's a
Ted
stinger.
saying, Brad, what's it like being in the other side of the coin, being a cup contender? Well, Brad, go ahead, take this question.
Cup contender. Have you seen the Rangers play? They're more like pretty soon the way they're playing right now. Igor Shesterkin, he's gone from a Vezina Trophy winner, the first man up at the golf club. How his game has turned around this year. At the Rangers. Well, last night, out of the Devils scored. I blame him. Don't blame him for the fourth one because that one. I mean, Miller tried to clean it. He hits. I think it was McLeod. He hit the puck and it trickles in off with his shin. It's just bad luck. But I mean, the other three, I don't care how good Hughes is. There's no with one hand. I mean, come on. All he had to do was lie down and stack. Instead, he stands there and he lets it go through his leg, which is ridiculous because Lindgren was all over, nothing on the shot. So, it's Sturkin decides he wants to. The Rangers have a shot, but the way he's playing.
Gotcha.
So you might be guys, in the bottom of turnaround.
Yeah. All right then. Oh, with that, the Rangers currently right now maybe not maybe not the cup contenders that everybody assumes that. You know what though? Again, we still got a whole rest of the first half left to go, and then we have a whole second half. So there is still plenty of time for things to turn around out there on Broadway. Meanwhile, on Broad Street, I'm still divided. Still maybe one of the top draft picks, so let's continue sucking. And then the other side of it is, maybe then the other side will make the playoffs, who knows? But then, the one side that wants to tank is actually winning right now. Benny's like, oh, sorry, brother. Yeah, we're trying out a new streaming service, so we're working out some kinks.
Oh, for sure. We're delayed. We got guys who are chippy. We got guys that are breaking up. But, we're still working on it. So just bear with us. But yeah, I mean, Maddie, to what you were saying here, I kind of want to see if they can make a push for the playoffs because, yeah, as much as a lot of people are sitting here saying, blow it up, especially, Bryce saying blow it up tonight. And a lot of what I'm reading online is people saying that they need to fire Chuck, this, that, and the other. I really want to see what this team's intestinal fortitude is going to look like when they're healthy. A lot of people tend to want to forget that all these key players are sitting out of their lineup. Right now, the Flyers roster is full of AHL players. You don't have Sean Couturier. He's out for Lord knows how long. You have Ryan Ellis, who's out for Lord knows how long. I mean, he's only played 4 games as a Flyer since being traded over here. Cam Atkinson getting ready to come back this week.
May never play again.
TK's out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Ryan Ellis may never play again. But, all these key players are hurt, and I want to say blow it up too. But I also want to see what the intestinal fortitude of these young guys are. Guys like, let's see what TK truly is. Let's see what Joel Farabee really is. Let's see what – so, there's guys to move on this roster. I totally agree. And I would definitely say move them regardless at the trade deadline. JVR, get him out. Risto, get him out. Justin Braun, get him out. get Cam York back up here. You know, there's just so many different aspects to this team. I would like to see them. Go ahead.
I was going to say, honestly, you know, the way I'm looking at it from this perspective, you know, I find like, you know, it's not all negative. There have been, you know, some good things to bounce off of what you're saying with the idea of pushing for the playoffs. You know, there have been really great players or really great moments from young players that are building themselves up to that pro level. You know, and I will say TK has impressed the hell out of me with the way that he's kind of rearing himself back into shape and kind of whipping himself back into form here and taking more of a leadership role, which I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of him for that. You know, it's great. This is what I'm talking about. This is the TK that we drafted. This is the TK that we saw a few years back. You know, this is the TK that we want to see moving forward. I feel like Provy's had his moments where he's screwed up, yes, but he rebounds better from that. He doesn't let it really get to him nearly as much as it was getting to him prior to this. And then obviously I think Hayes, he's, you know, obviously I was hard on him, but it seems like he's getting past the injury problem, what have you, and rearing his form. So it hasn't been all negative. There's been positives. Cates, I feel like, it got that hunger and drive. I feel like Sandheim is getting that hunger and drive back. I really feel like a lot of those guys are picked their game up. Farabee is rebounding well. Like I said, it hasn't been all negative. There's been a lot of hunger from a lot of the younger players and some of the veterans too.
No, absolutely. And you know, to build off of what you're saying, Provy is having one of the better years of his career, having Tony D'Angelo on the pair with him. So you know, you see the effort from all these guys as the season tends to go on. You know, so that's good. That's encouraging for this team moving forward and saying most of them are buying into what Torts is trying to do. Now you just got to find the weak links and get rid of them. You know, I mean, I love what Kevin Hayes is doing offensively this year. He needs to step up defensively. He's been a defensive liability most of this year, despite the fact that he's a point per game player right now. You know, it's some of the veterans need to step up, and you need to get rid of the weak links. And like I said, I think JVR is one. I think Justin Braun's one. Maybe you consider trading Provorov to try and get something in return for him, so he can really open up that one spot for Cam York, and solidify that spot for him. I think Igor Zamula has had a really solid game tonight. I've saw him, you know, playing really well in the corners, you know, winning a battle and stuff like that. It's just, you know, you got to see what you have before you really make this jump. And that's what Anaheim's doing, which is part of the reason why they're so bad. You know, they're going to start making moves in January. You know, it's just right now, it's just pure evaluation. And that's what how the Flyers should look at it. Right now, it's pure evaluation. No moves. Don't trade anybody. Not that there's really a whole lot of people to trade right now, but, you know, that's not going to free up a ton of cap space to bring in somebody better. But it's just, you know, these injuries don't help. You know, you got Wade Allison back on you know, injury. Key players all injured. It just, Tony D'Angelo is now hurt. It just doesn't end, and it hurts. It hurts more than it does anything. And I think once this team gets 100% healthy, which could be a while, this team could really make some noise. Like, they're not playing horrible. They just need a spark.
Right. I got you. And by the way, Rosca says JVR to the Ducks. I just wanted to let you know that there, bro.
Fuck that.
And Brad, earlier on, he was breaking up a little bit there. So what he typed out here, Brad's saying the Flyers are playing well enough, well enough to lose. I like that. Brad also went on to say, the Rangers. Right. Brad saying the Rangers' biggest problem is Lafreniere is not Hughes, and Crapo Caco, as they like to call him affectionately up there in Big Apple, might be a bust, as he has not been playing like the number 2 pick, like, say, Sarangovic of the Devils. And the Flyers have got to get the power play going again if they want to turn their season around. So that's a summary of what Brad was talking about earlier, in case you weren't able to get it because of the issues that we were having audio-wise. So let's see here. Yeah, Ted's like, keep losing streak to going. I want Fletcher going. New scouting team. We need a star to pair with on this roster, and Connor Bedard or Adam Fantelli with Cutter Gauthier with Coots and the rest. Cutter Gauthier has been killing it. They showed a nice little report on him on ESPN Plus. He's been doing very well for Boston College, so that's a good sign. Hopefully, he can keep that going and then transition his play at the NCAA to the NHL. Not an easy thing to do, by the way. It's very, very hard. Let's see, Ted saying, are the Ducks injured or bad like the Flyers too? I don't get their games.
I don't get it either, dude. I don't think they're bad. Verbeek was saying earlier, I think it was earlier today, he was doing a press conference saying that, they did bring in a lot of new players. It's a lot of new faces. It's trying to create chemistry and this, that, and the other. So I think that's a little bit of it. The part that disturbs me is the fact that I think they only have still one regulation win on the season of their 7 or 8 that they have. Just defensively, they've been just god awful. And that's killing them. They're second to last in power play, and they're dead last in penalty kill. So special teams is killing them. Inconsistent goalie play. Gibson's been in and out with injuries. So that doesn't help either. I think they're better than they're leading on to be. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question because I don't think there's many major injuries on that roster right now. I think they're just bad.
Brad's was saying that Hayes, Kreider, Goudreau's teams, that's a good sign. Is the BC because, or is it for a player? That's the only thing that I'm not sure of. But Brad will clarify in just a moment. Let me see here. Saying that Nick Delorier should go.
Not on that contract.
Oh, okay. Because of the guys that I mentioned from BC. Oh, from British Columbia. Oh, okay. I see what he means. Yeah. Let's see here.
Wow. Linus Ullmark has 2 flat goals against this year.
Boston College, duh. Boston College, BC. I didn't totally went the wrong way on that one. Thank you for clarifying that, Brad. I was being an idiot there. Let's see here. Provi will get you more than something. You'll get a lot, especially come deadline. That's what Ted believes on Provi. I know that the Flyers have been taking calls, so, who knows? Maybe he's on the table. Usually when you're taking calls on players, there's almost no one not on the table. So, almost. There are maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, but for the most part, you usually have an open mind. So, gentlemen, while they're still on the intermission, might as well do our first period sponsor for the live reactions. First period sponsor. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, or you have a change in career or brokerage, contact Alan Foy, eXp Realty LLC. Give him a call at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy at exprealty.com. And we'll also give our second period sponsor, which is All Campus. if you're heading on down to Ocean City, New Jersey, check out All Campus. They're giving 20% off of everything in their store, including hats, shirts, to all of the A2D subscribers. So get subscribed up. John Coyle runs the shop down, all the great sports merchandise. And he also does the rant booth, which is always a fun time, and he does it from All Campus. So if you ever wanted to head on down to Ocean City, get yourself some sunshine and rays when the summer rolls around and the spring comes around, you want to jump ahead of the game there, check out All Campus OC. And get yourself some nice sports gear while you're down there, too. All right, then. So, gentlemen, to jump into that second period, we're going to talk about, can the Flyers recover in December? Brad, do you guys feel like it's possible? Do you feel like the Flyers can pull themselves back together after a rough November and have a strong comeback in December?
Well, I mean, anything is really possible for this team. The big thing is, and I'm sound like a broken record tonight, but they got to get healthy if they really want that to happen. I mean, getting Lawton back tonight was huge for them. Don, you're a dick. I love you though.
Don. What?
Don, my guy. So, I mean, I think it can happen. They just need to get healthy. I mean, obviously they're playing with a little bit more of a spark tonight because Lawton's back in the lineup. I think once you get more guys back, it's going to get even better. Cam will be back as early as Thursday, as long as everything goes well and he doesn't suffer any setbacks. And then, from there, it's up to the team and how they react to some of this stuff. They have to. You keep seeing the effort there, and defensively they have to play better. Special teams is if they really want to rebound is where they need to improve. And I think especially on the penalty kill, they really have to start converting on the penalty kill, because that's where they're losing these games. It's mostly on the penalty kill, and not being able to convert on that is 9 times out of 10 is going to lose you a hockey game. It's just they have to get better on the special teams. They got to get hot again. They have to figure out ways to score goals. They have to keep up the effort offensively that they have been, and just play better defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely one of the major causes turning things back around. Brad was saying yes, but they need to get their healthy players back, which is what Brian was saying as well. And they got to fix that power play, and the same thing. And yeah, I'm in agreement. All the way. Like, better penalty kill has had its moments where it's looked really good, but it's also had its iffy moments. Got to kind of tweak that, tighten that up a little bit. Power play though, wise, yeah, they got to start scoring, and they got to pay penalty. You've got to make them pay for going box. Hopefully, starting with a goal when the third period gets going, since they'll still be on the power play when the third period starts up. But evening, what's up, Pete? And
Pete, what's up, my brother?
He also says, agree to the poll. Agree to the poll. It's surprising they turned it around fast with the head coach. And yeah, sometimes that is what a team needs. Sometimes they do need a change of leadership behind the bench. Unfortunately, coaches are ones to also take the brunt of the blame when when things start going wrong. But also sometimes they're the to turn things around, because then the team buys into it, and next thing you know, they're off to the races, and they're back to kicking ass and taking names like they were 5 minutes ago. Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, and especially for the Islanders, they're bringing in a guy in Lane Lambert who's been working under Barry Trotz when Barry Trotz was with the Islanders. So, he runs a familiar system that these guys are already familiar with. He's just utilizing, the transition and utilizing the speed and really, taking advantage of having the players that he has. And he's bringing out the best in Barzell. He's bringing out the best in Brock Nelson, who is probably having one of the better seasons that he's had in a while. And, he's just making Anders Lee just, Anders Lee. Nothing's changed for him. He's par for the course.
Right.
But, the one thing that's really going to break this Islanders team out is bringing in a superstar, a legit superstar. I think Barzell is really good. I just don't think he's a superstar. It's a similar situation with the Carolina Hurricanes. Really good team, top to bottom, really good defensively. Solid goaltending. Well, obviously, Islanders are better goaltending. But, no superstar. And I think that's really what's going to handcuff the Islanders moving forward.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Some teams, they need that guy, whereas in the don't, they seem to make good goes of it, even without that star face of the organization. And, I guess Rod Brendamore's still the face. Even he did win them their cup, so I guess that just continues. Anyway,
well, no. No, you're not exactly wrong, but it's more, it's Sebastian Aho. Sebastian Aho, really strong player. Really, he's a top 6 player, but he can't do it all by himself. He needs some help, and there's some older guys in this Carolina roster that are really good too, but. You're getting towards the end of their career. You bring in Paul Stastny. You still have Jordan Stahl. You brought in somebody else. I'm blanking on who it is, but you extend just Barry Kotkaniemi, who's having a pretty good season so far. Just there's just no superstar here to really say, hey, all right, boys, third period, we're in the final 5 minutes. Get on my back, boys. I got you. Let's go.
Right.
They don't have that, and the Islanders don't have that either.
Right. You need that. You need those guys or goalie that's going to be like, all right, got me a 3-goal lead. All right, don't worry about it. I got it from here. We'll be all right.
Yes, no, here, exactly. And Brad, it doesn't even necessarily need to be a goalie.
True. Brad was saying, yes, but they need to get their no. Sorry, that was before. He's also saying Trotz could be the Rangers coach if they get swept by Ottawa, which would be interesting. Trotz goes from one New York team to the next.
That wouldn't surprise me if it happened.
Oh, man. And it would be ironic if the Islanders and knowing how this league works, it would be very ironic. I could see the Rangers and the Islanders playoffs then. Oh, just to make things even more ironic, let's have Trotz face his old team, this time with his new New York team, and let's see what happens from there. Yeah. Brad saying that could happen. Yeah. Yes. It is. Let's see here. And the crazy thing is, during this losing streak, he's been healthy. For the most part, yeah. Really been any major injuries besides, obviously, Ellis. And he also made me a bad fan that I want this streak to go on as long as it can. No. It doesn't make you a bad fan because, honestly, we all kind of have an idea of where the Flyers are at. They're a team that needs to focus on young talent, so wanting to get more top-tier young talent and build that up, there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I totally understand where that's coming from. No, that does not make you a bad fan. There's nothing wrong with why you're losing. If you're losing and the team should be competing for a cup or should be in the playoffs right now or in a playoff position right now, the Flyers are pulling this shit, yeah, that would make you a bad fan if you wanted to lose the streak to continue then. But no, when you're in this position, it's understandable. It's completely understandable to want good players. So, gotta lose sometimes to get that to happen. I know, that was a guess right there.
Bro, Sedlak has been really, really good tonight. He's put himself in a couple of really good positions. Sorokin has just been better.
I do like Sedlak. You know what Sedlak reminds me of? He reminds me of Grant. He really reminds me of Derek. That kind of just relentless, go for the throat kind of player, with that great, ability to go on that third line and throw out the check and get some good opportunities and some turnovers. He kind of reminds me of Derek Grant in a way.
No, I agree with that because I love Derek Grant. I think he's one of the most underappreciated players in this league, and spending most of his time with Anaheim, I've gotten to see a lot of him. He's a solid two-way player. Can win a huge face-off when you need him to. He's puts himself in good position to create scoring chances. So, Ted, no, Sedlak is a forward that the Flyers picked up off of waivers from the Colorado Avalanche probably, 2 weeks ago now?
Somewhere around that, yeah. Um,
What's up, Bryson Cooper?
Brad was saying the goal scorers, but I was going to say, Brad says the Islanders don't have bomb goal scorers, but they have lots of bullets. And Noah Dobson is becoming an elite defenseman. Yes, and he did show that tonight. He scored the only goal for the Islanders so far. But
absolutely.
Anyway, what were you going to say there, Brian?
Just I saw Bryson Cooper's comment down here and wants to know if we think that New York can score.
Oh,
Bryson,
yeah.
What's up, brother? Hit
possible.
That like, hit that subscribe, brother. Oh, I think they could. I mean
Islanders...
you see it here. They're Oh!
Yeah, that was a scary chance right there. There was a couple of real scary opportunities there for the Islanders.
Speaking of, well, Bryson, I don't know what you're doing over there, but you're bringing some luck to the Islanders. I was just about to say, if they can utilize your speed and take advantage of the transition, they're a much faster team than the Flyers are, and you just saw it right there. Created a great scoring chance by Anthony Beauvillier, and he had a wide open net. I don't know who that was in the crease, but thank God he was there because Hart was down and out, and he made a huge game-saving save right there.
Yes, he did, because that would have been a tied game right there.
Stanley Cup belongs to the Devils.
Oh, unfortunately. That era of hockey, painful. Painful and also fun because the Flyers were actually competitive during that time and they won nothing. So that's where the pain comes in. Let's see here.
They've been really good tonight, though.
They have been, though. The Flyers have been pouncing. They've been getting opportunities. I still think it's been even play. The Islanders have had their chances. The Flyers have had their chances. Ironically, both teams have been kind of mirroring each other where they've been aggressive. They've thrown the body around. They've gotten their turnovers, and they've gotten their – both goalies have been responding when defense, and the one time for the Flyers also responded in a big way. And Brad said to Raska, the Bruins are the best team in the league right now. In response to Raska stating that the Boston Bruins beat the three-time defending Eastern champions Tampa Bay Lightning.
They sure did, and they look sharp doing it too. I love their retro jersey.
Yeah, their retro jersey does look cool. We gotta take a look at the rest of the retro jersey. I will say the original version of that retro jersey was, the design I thought was okay. The jersey, I always thought the logo was silly. The bear, I get it. It's a classic look. I'm not a big fan of that bear logo. It's like, I will say this. I hate Boston. I don't really like their jerseys for the most part, but I would say the B is a classic logo. So it's like, I feel like you should just keep the B anytime you get a chance. Still hate Bruins, though. I mean, they can still go fuck themselves, but...
Oh, that was Zamula.
No, let's see.
Zamula came up huge defending that net there in Beauvillier. I think that was going to be New York's best chance to tie this game up.
Yeah, that was a really good opportunity there. Brad was saying Florida has the best retro jersey. Interesting. I'll have to take a look and see because I didn't see Florida's. Let's see. J.S. Shigeru won the contest.
I don't disagree.
That means that the Stanley Cup champion lost.
That's fine, but if you look on the Stanley Cup in 2002, 2003, it still says the New Jersey Devils.
It doesn't even, that Roscoe, because Jaguar won the 2007 Stanley. Well, it doesn't even really matter in the long run because he wound up winning the Cup in 07, and he was one of the big parts of that 07 team winning the Cup.
I wish his logic was correct because I would love to sit there and say they have 2 Stanley Cups, but he's wrong.
I wish his logic was correct.
comes
Flyers won the Cup in 76. And, well, hold on. I wish that his logic follows through too, because I was going to say, man, the Flyers would have 2. They would have the 76 Cup with Reggie Leach getting the Conn Smythe that year, and then they would have the one in 87 because Ron Hextall got the Conn Smythe instead of one of the Oilers. So we would have 4 if Roscoe's logic kicked into high gear there.
Oh, wow. Big game time goal with under a minute left for Pittsburgh. Overtime. Here comes Carolina. Oh, what a pretty goal by Brett Pesce. Wow. I like that kid, too. I like Brett Pesce, too.
Do you all think New York scores? What? Since I am a Flyers fan, I'm going to say no. I'm going to just go, I'll go no.
I mean, with the pressure they're putting on right now and the fact that they're able to utilize their speed a little bit more, they're creating some havoc in front of Carter Hart. I think they have a good chance at scoring here. Do I think it actually happens? We'll see. Carter Hart's playing strong, and the defense is playing really well in front of him.
He's had 19 saves tonight so far. Brad saying 2-1-0 by Svechnikov.
Absolutely.
In that game against Carolina.
I mean, how do you do that? That was a 2-0 in overtime. Bro, they don't even spell their name the same.
You got talent. Well, Pesce, yeah. It's an E instead of an I.
It's not even close either.
Although that would have been funny if it was Joe, if he was related to Joe Pesce. That would probably mean that he would probably in the locker room laugh their asses off.
Well, here let's use some logic because I think that joke didn't really land the way Ted thought it would. Let's think about it this way. How old would his parents have to have been to have birthed to Brett Pesce? Because Brett Pesce, I think, is like 23 or 24. Joe Pesce is like in his 60s. Let's use some logic behind that one. Come on, man. His parents would have had to have been like 77, 78 years old for that to happen.
That's still young. Age is just a number.
Yeah, not when you can actually. Never mind. I'm not going to get into this whole thing.
Brad was saying that was a terrible line change by the Pens on that goal.
That was.
Let's see. So Flyers have possession of the and Sorokin decides to stop the play. He's had enough. He's seen enough right now.
Hold up, Matty. Am I actually
so
ahead
far
of you?
20 in favor of the shots for Flyers.
I think I'm ahead of you. I'm at
really?
Yeah, I think I'm at the commercial now.
Oh, you're at the commercial now for Renvoke? I'm at the end of that.
Oh, maybe you are still ahead of me.
By the way, not a sponsor. But I will tell you who is a sponsor, Gleason's Bar. For everybody who is commenting in tonight on the fan, whether you're new or you are a regular, if you're ever in the Levittown, PA area, 6700 Mill Creek Ave, D code there, 10% off when you go dining in or you go takeout or online at Gleason's Bar. So check them out. nice food when you're in the Levittown, PA. All right, then.
Big second half of the third period
I'm
here
not sure
for
what.
the Flyers here.
Yeah. What is Camille saying? I'm not even sure, to be completely honest with you. I'm actually not sure what you mean, Camille.
Curious.
I'm sure he'll explain it, and then we'll feel like idiots.
I mean, we are a bunch of idiots, so I guess it all worked.
Right. That's our lot in life, as a C-3PO would say.
Well, I mean, it's at least mine. If I'm being fair.
Well, I mean, if you could be anything. Ah, okay.
Hey, I'm seeing a lot of New York comments in here. I like it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's go. Sure.
All right.
We could.
So,
There's plenty of time left.
What's up, man? Yeah, it's still, we got 9:39, at least where I'm sitting on this game. So yeah, that's plenty of time left for the Islanders to score here.
And they're pushing too. They're pushing offensively. So, you know, they're winning the battles and they're causing turnovers. And just like you saw there with Sedlak able to cough up the puck, keeps the puck in the offensive zone for the Islanders. And all it takes is a good shot. And they've already had a bunch of Don Rex Lewis. Oh, what's up, Don? Happy holidays to you too.
What's up, Don?
All it takes is a good shot.
Yeah, happy holidays, brother. Oh, okay, that's Florida's retro jersey. That is nice, actually. I like those. Those are pretty.
Bro, like with the dark blue pants that they have for them, the entire get up from top to bottom, I might be with Brad. It might be my favorite retro jersey.
I know that they're not wearing them tonight though. Calgary's wearing theirs, and it's bringing them some luck. I'm surprised that Dylan is not here gloating. I'm really shocked by that actually.
He had a concert or something tonight. I think he's out. That man is always doing something.
Hey, man, listen. That's okay. And says Ducks down 1-0 to the Preds after 2 from Ted's Ted's update there.
Shocker.
Yeah. Now we got Swoopy in here. What's up, Swoopy? What's going on?
What's up, Swoopy? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. Flyers need to put the foot on the gas pedal here. They're playing a little too.
I think it's been
a little too safe right now. They gotta push the envelope here.
Yeah, I agree. They're playing too safe. They're not trying to push for a third goal. It's like they're too afraid to make a mistake defensively and have a tied game. Get into your head. You gotta have that confidence in yourself.
I think they're just playing for the 2-1 win. I think they just need to get an insurance marker here. Because like I said, Islanders are playing a little bit better in this third period than they have been the entire game. So, you know, they had a huge scoring chance there by Beauvillier earlier in the third period. And thank God for Igor Zamula really saving the game there for them. But yeah, they got to push the envelope here. They got to start playing physical again. They need to start forechecking again. You know, put some pressure on Sorokin. Can't settle for 2 goals here.
Right.
The Kiefer Bellows looks gas there.
Brad's saying stay. Yeah. Brad's saying stay out of the penalty box. Yes. Definitely stay out of the penalty box. We don't want none of that.
Absolutely.
Do want to say, though, I have liked what I've seen from Igor Zamula. I think he's really been playing well. I've always liked him. I always thought he was a really good player. I always thought he was a really good prospect. I'm happy he's getting his chance with the Flyers here. I do like his game.
I mean, it's a shame that, it's got to be because of Tony DeAngelo being out, but I mean, he's played a solid game. He's looked pretty good all night. I mean, he's going to be a really solid third pairing defenseman for this Flyers team.
Yeah, I think Tony DeAngelo does have it. So let's see here. Ted's saying, is there still another show after you guys? No, not tonight. And let's see. Brad saying if they can stay, can pull this off, especially their own end. Yes, I agree. Mad Bull saying, need the nail in the coffin to prove out my cosmic brain. That would be nice, right? So, Mad Bull, let's go. Take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Well, the good thing is, if Mad Bull is watching on ESPN Plus or Hulu and he's got his phone, he can watch it on there. He can go poop out that cosmic brownie and still watch the game. He doesn't have to worry about missing a minute. Yeah. Why did I just promote that?
Yeah, you can. I don't know, but either way though, if he wants to pop a round off or two, he can do that if he has his phone available to him. I do believe the penalty's just been called, high sticking. Unfortunately, it's on the Flyer. God damn it! Of course, it's on the Flyers. Why the fuck not? Brett, I think you jinxed this. I'm going to put this one on you.
Way to go, Brad.
And that's what happened. He said, sorry. Oh, man. Sure. Brad's going to call a shorthanded goal. Okay, well, hopefully that has the reverse effect on that so that it doesn't happen. Oh, no.
No, Swoopy. I left on Sunday. I've been back in North Carolina for a couple days.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick before you get going here, Maddie?
Yeah, thanks for paying.
So I was venting about this before we went on the air. Why is it every time that I go, maybe somebody up there can explain it to me. Why is it every time that I go to Jersey and I come back, I get sick? Every single time. I don't know what it is. I don't know how. Every time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's in the middle of summer, winter, fall, spring, whatever. Whenever I go home and I see my family, I always get sick when I come back. I don't get it. Somebody please explain it to me. Valentino, the two up here want the Flyers to win. Brad, I'm sure wants the Flyers to win because, he hates the Islanders, and I can't say I blame him. And
he didn't, but
DBZ, you can watch the game on ESPN Plus or Hulu, and we agree. New York sucks.
Yeah, who wins? I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna stick with the Flyers here, even though Brad said Potvin still sucks. Hashtag movement for when the Rounders. They should make that like on all the social media and everything. Brad, I think you need to get in on that. I think you need to make the get on the ground floor of that and make that a thing. So let's see here. The Islanders starting off on their power play. The Flyers do manage to get a quick clear. Unfortunately, it's not going to be one because the Islanders do get it. For the dump it to the neutral zone.
Sorry, as long as they get it out of the zone.
Right. They do get a good clear that time, though, so okay. Brad's saying I do every time they play.
I see
And
Don
Swoopy
and
saying
Ted
that
going back
Semlak
and
has been a
forth in
huge
here.
plus.
Agreed.
Swoopy did say
I
that
see
Semlak has been a huge plus.
Yeah, we've been praising him tonight, and then with Don and Ted going back and forth, I see on there. They're just on hiatus. They're not done. They got a lot going on their plate right now, and they'll be back. They'll be back. Weekly roundup will be back.
And let's see here. The Islanders have the setup here. Pass through. Hart was able to knock that one away easily because that one was more of a pass than a shot. And then the Islanders
Get it
don't
out.
keep it in the zone. Flyers couldn't get it out. Of course they couldn't. Come on, guys.
Love seeing all the new
And Hart
faces in here,
says,
y'all.
that is enough. We are going to have a face-off.
Love
Yes,
seeing all the new
thank
faces in here, y'all. Hit that
everybody
like,
who's
hit that
joining in.
subscribe. Let's go. You know, if you're not hockey fans, you know, here at HUD, if you're unfamiliar
Everybody
with
out there,
what we do, if you're unfamiliar with what we do, we talk all things Philly sports. We talk all things really any sport. So if you're a fan of basketball, we got a basketball show. We got football shows. We got baseball shows. We got wrestling shows. Anything y'all want, we got y'all covered. Hit that subscribe. Turn on the notifications. Join us every week. Join another show every week. Let's go. Become a part of the fam.
Hell yeah, absolutely. We love having new family members here on A2D. If you have fun with us, you'll definitely have fun with the other shows, let me tell you. And, good save there. Hart keeping his team alive. That's what I'm talking about. Pride and joy of the Flyers right there. And Brad responding to Don's comment here. Seattle does look good, but it's still early. It is still early. And Don saying, how about Seattle Kraken? They look good.
Yeah, they do look good. And you know what? The one thing that we were talking about during the expansion draft, they didn't have a fancy draft. It wasn't flashy by any means.
No.
But here's the thing. They have depth. And they've been adding depth as they've been going through free agency. So, you know, I think my biggest question mark for them right now is still their goaltender, but they're playing well in front of them. I have no complaints about Seattle. I kind of half expected this.
Right. Hey, man. Depth wins you hockey games and wins you cups. So that's what you need in the long run.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Jay.
Here.
I got you.
And saying bad penalty. Yeah, that was a bad penalty for Allison. Or wait a minute, was it Tippett or Allison? Because they actually
it was it was Tippett. I know they look the same.
It was Tippett. Okay, do they not look similar to each other? Yeah,
they do.
They could be brothers. Oh, let's see here. Jay said that Islanders better not score. Can score. Okay, gotcha, Jay. Hopefully that does happen there. Whoa, got a scrum.
Oh, yeah, physicality still going on in this team.
Yeah. Brad's saying Seattle has given up the fewest goals in the Western Conference. Wow. Nice little stat to have. Nice.
Yeah. They're good. They're very under the radar good. And you know, me and Robbie were praising their draft. We knew they weren't going to be good right away. But, you know, they've had a vast improvement. They had a much better offseason this year.
Oh, hey, listen, I'll tell you this. No matter what happens, if, say, Seattle manages to sustain that and they're giving up very few goals and they manage to actually sneak in on a wild card or what have you, you know what? No matter what happens in the playoffs, if they were able to make it, I got to say, good for you guys. You know, that's a great moment for that franchise that's still so very young. I mean, we can't all have the gift of going to the Stanley Cup Finals like Vegas did, but hey, getting to the playoffs, that's great. It's great for a new team, great for the market, great for them to have something to cheer about and say, like, all right, impossible.
Yeah, CJ, how much time is left? Just under 3 minutes. Probably I'd probably say within the
Yeah,
next
about
minute or so, the Islanders will pull the
2:49.
goalie if they don't score. Victor, bet on New York. Okay. I mean, safe bet for the most
So
part.
he's yeah, I can understand why. I mean, the Flyers haven't exactly bred a whole hell of a lot of confidence. Well,
Gotta say what's up to Ant. I
that
didn't
one
see
goes.
Ant in the chat earlier.
Yeah, there's Ant saying, "Do Atkinson, D'Angelo, and TK play Thursday night?" Atkinson, I think, is back. D'Angelo, yes. TK, yeah, I think so. Right? Or was TK hurt? No, I don't think TK's hurt. Lawton's hurt.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the updates on TK or D'Angelo. I do know that they, as of right now, they're planning on trying to get Cam out there for Thursday. I don't know about any of the other guys. There is now. Oh no, I'm sorry. There is no penalty. Wow, they pulled the goalie already?
Yeah, they pulled it. I mean, I could understand why. The Islanders were really trying to take advantage of this. They were trying because the Flyers were getting a little sloppy in their own zone.
No, all right. So Jay,
they didn't get that, didn't they?
All right. So Jay, here's how it usually works. So, don't know how familiar you are with hockey. So anytime that, really at any point during the game, a team can pull their goalie for an extra player. Typically, you'll see it towards the end of the third period in a closer game. Like this one's a 1-goal game. So a goal, if the Islanders score here, they tie it. So obviously, you're going to pull the goal here. Lately, it's been earlier and earlier with teams. It's just, 1-goal games here with the Islanders. They have speed. They can really take advantage of not having a goalie in there for about 2.5 minutes. So unless in this situation where they're going back down
in this
to,
game, he's getting.
I see Ted with the confidence. Yeah, we're at 80 seconds right now.
Yeah, about that. Jay was saying, "Oh yeah, I know. If Islanders score, then I lose. Regardless, if Philly scores, then I'm under." Brad's saying they put their big guys in front of the net. Yeah, I'm not surprised they did. Makes sense.
Got to get Anders Lee in front of that net if the Islanders want to score, want to tie it up here. Oh.
Right.
Oh, Flyers, you got to move a little faster there.
Yeah, I know. They got to get that empty net. Yes, they just did. All right, there we go.
There you go, Jay.
There we go.
Streak's over. And it's Kevin Hayes. Fitting.
Kevin Hayes gets the empty netter to seal this one. And Flyers finally won. And he just went, whew, and the last comment. By the way, Don says that Bry is Hockey for Dummies. Maybe you should write the book, Hockey for Dummies. It's probably already written, but maybe you can get a writing.
It's definitely already written. It's definitely already written, and I am a dummy, so it all works out. So I'm not upset.
Okay, so new title: Hockey for Dummies, written by a hockey dummy.
Go ahead, Jay. Win that money, bro.
Brad saying, "See, whenever I am on a live game, they win." Or do you mean? Well, I don't know about that one, Brad, because I think when the Flyers lost to the Rangers. But okay, either way, it don't matter. We win. So the Flyers get a big win with Carter Hart, who had some great saves in the third period, and that's always a good win. Impressive, they got a point. Yes, you are correct in that one. I can't take that away from you. So when you're on, they always get a point. We'll go with that. That's what I'll go with. So yeah, great win for the Flyers. Carter Hart getting done there. Flyers getting a big win. Oh, feels good. Feels good. Brad saying, love it down. Go to the fish sticks. Yep, down they go. He's saying scores. Final
I gotta be
score,
careful.
3-1 Flyers.
Matthew Walsh, what's
And,
up, brother?
yep,
Clappy,
Flyers
what's
won.
up? Hey, we got a lot of people coming in here and talking about their parlays. I love it.
Love it. Chrissy LMA, pass off in case anyone don't. Says Flyers sold me parlay. Nice.
Hey, let's go.
That's what we're talking about. We're always talking about people winning some money around here. Let me tell you that. And Matthew Walsh.
I mean, we got the perfect solution for that.
Time the Flyers won a game. You're damn right. We do. All about the money. If you're all about going to get some money around here, we have a couple of opportunities for it. So one, fan up. Best way to enjoy daily contests and more. Promo code A2D for a $50 value. I do go to fanup.app. And in case you're not into the fantasy sports, but you like to throw a couple of bets around every night, you can always take a look at another one of our sponsors that we like call. Actually, oh no, that is just it. Oh, all right. Sorry about that, guys. That's the only one. But still, doesn't matter. If you want to get in on fantasy sports, fan up. That's where you want to go. Use the A2D code, and that'll get you going there. But also, if you want to become an A2D member, there's also an advantage to that. If you become an A2D member, you get picks. Weekly Sports Pin More from the Money Pot Podcast and Willie Vegas. Those guys know what they're talking about. And it's not just hockey, it's every sport. And that's only $9.99. This is on the shows. So if you want to come on here and tell us that we don't know what the hell we're talking about, you could absolutely a couple of nice little incentives right there.
No, absolutely. And I see all you guys in there with the sports betting, which is great. You know, if you hit our sub, sub to our YouTube page, we got the Money Pot Podcast. Nate Money Moss, he's always there, trying to win you guys some money, and he does it the smart way. So you definitely check him out, hit the like, hit the sub, come talk to us every Tuesday, go talk to him, and then talk to everybody in between. We all love it. Predators, Ducks. I hope he went Predators on that one. I hope you went Predators on that one, Slappy. Speaking of, I should put that on.
Is it still 1-0?
I should put that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still 1-0.
Let's see.
About midway through the third period.
So, Brad, here, I'll let you type in an answer on this one. You got the Rangers win tomorrow. Since Brad here, I'll let him answer that one for you there, Chrissy. Meanwhile, Ted saying we have the 8th pick now, 8-10-5. So that is the record now for the Flyers.
That's fine. Right now we have number 1.
And Don, was it? Donna said, "Do you really want to watch the Ducks?"
I can't blame him for that shot.
Brad, this was the question.
Oh, he's typing. He's going.
All right, so. Oh, don't worry. Brad saying yes, they will sweep the Sens. So, Chrissy, if you're gonna place some bets on that one, our Rangers expert is telling you, and he also says they better. He's telling you go Rangers. So take the Rangers on that one, brother. When someone becomes a paying monthly subscriber, how do they get the weekly picks? Do they sign on to A2D Patreon?
No, so what they do?
That is a very good question.
So what they do is they record all the picks for whatever game. So Nate's always doing videos and stuff like that. Willie goes onto the HED Real Talk group, and he'll put his picks in there. but they usually you'll get notifications anytime that they post pics. I get them all the time. So that's just how it works. You'll get notifications when they post a video about that stuff. You just got to turn your notifications on.
All right, then. So there we go.
It's funny. Yo, Don's on it tonight.
Yes, he is. Brad said they hit 2 parlays this weekend. The Rangers or the money pot? I'm going to assume he meant money pot on that one.
I would assume
no,
those money pot
Ted,
guys
they
too.
gave me money and tell me to go. Money pot. Okay, yeah, so it was them. Yeah, so yeah, definitely check out those guys. They know what they're talking about. Meanwhile, and don't listen to this joker right here, Don. Listen, Don's just a very bitter Detroit fan. Don't listen to him.
All right, so real quick, Clappy, if you're still in the chat here, what do you want to know about the Ducks and the Predators? I mean, they're about halfway through the third period, so I'm sure you probably have some props and stuff like that to look at. So just let me know, and I can hopefully guide you somewhere. Oh, tie game.
As
soon as I turn it on, Troy Terry, 5-hole.
Finally got their head out of their ass on that one.
Hey, you keep them out of your mouth.
What? Everybody else can make fun of the Ducks, but me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say that's discrimination.
Yeah, it's pure haterism.
Yeah,
what do you think this was? This is haterade.
All right, gentlemen. So we'll jump third period, which was brought to you by FanUp. So we already took care of that sponsor. As around the league, and while we're here on around the league, since we had parlays and such like that, we might as well throw out a scoring update. So just in case anyone who's watching, like Clappy or whatever, if they threw out some other bets out there, it might be a good idea to get to that. So, Bri, you got the scores up, brother. You can take it away.
Yeah, give me. I'm waiting for the app to load. Give me 1 second here. All right, we ready to go. All right, so obviously we know Flyers won 3-1 over the Islanders today. All right. And then a couple other finals in OT. We got the Penguins losing to the Hurricanes 3-2. Sharks shutting out the Canadiens 4-0. And the Bruins up the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1. And games that are in play right now, Canucks and Capitals early on, 0-0. About midway through the second, we got the Flames up 3-0 on Keith Tkachuk. Oh, yeah, Keith Tkachuk. Wow. Matthew Tkachuk in the Florida Panthers in his return home. We have the Jets 4-0 over the Colorado Avalanche right now, early on in the third period. It could be a huge upset. But don't sleep on the Jets. They still got a really good roster. Predators Ducks tied at 1 about midway through the third period. And we got one game yet to be played tonight. And that's the Seattle Kraken versus the LA Kings. That'll get underway about 10:30 tonight. About 15 minutes.
All right, then. And Brad said the Ducks have nice retros on tonight.
We do. I love them. Don, you watch your goddamn mouth.
Has there been... Bri, has there been rumblings about them finally going back to the old logo? Because I know it's always been talked about. Have there been any new rumblings of them officially saying, yeah, we're going to go back? No.
I don't know. No. I mean, I know that fans don't like the logo. I'm okay with the logo now, but I mean, if they decided to make this and their alternate jersey this year, their primary jerseys, I'm not going to hate it. But I mean, they talk about it every year, going back to the original logo and making a more of a modern look to the jerseys. So you never know. I mean, like I said, every year they talk about it. It's just, I think it's a fan thing more than it is anybody.
Right, I gotcha. I mean, hey, the Coyotes did. But then again, also the Coyotes play in the 3,000 seat arena.
Yeah, but their new jerseys actually suck.
Anyway.
It's a terrible example. I mean, the Katina jerseys are where it's at.
That's why they went back to them. Credit given, right? They went back to those jerseys. So,
I love that Bakanainen is back in the lineup. He was missed.
Yes.
Euro Bakanainen back in the lineup for the Ducks tonight.
Saying Flyers. Flyers saying Flyers playing Funky Town by Lip Sync in the locker room right now, according to Aunt Sam. I love it. That's their new victory song is Funky Town. I don't even think that was a victory song for any of the teams back in the 70s. So the fact that they actually are using it today is pretty great.
I mean, they haven't won in so long. They probably forgot what their victory song was.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's actually a good point. Actually, though, think about it. I'm trying to think. What team back in the 70s do you think probably did use Funky Town as their victory song? I don't know. Part of me feels like the Rangers did. I can't help it but think the Rangers probably did back in the 70s. And Bryce is just shaking his head, no.
I mean, I'm going to derail you. I don't think many teams used victory songs back then. I think they just
probably didn't. They were probably just ready to get drunk.
Probably. They probably had a couple beers in their hands by the time they were done.
No, I didn't mean in the building. I meant the team. The team themselves in the locker room.
All right, come on. 7:30 left. Let's do something here, boys.
And Ted's saying, do we still play Becky Lynch's theme? Yes, still play Becky Lynch's theme after they score. And
I kind of love that they do that.
Ted was saying it's definitely a West Coast team who used Funky Town.
I love that you're starting to see more WWE theme songs used in other sports to generate like hype and stuff, because you heard it once in a while. You heard The Rock's once in a while, you heard Stone Cold's, you heard Brock Lesnar, but now you're starting to hear it more. Like you hear John Cena, Becky Lynch. I'm pretty sure I've heard Charlotte Flair at one point. I actually kind of like that they're starting to do that, especially ones like Becky Lynch. It's just one that gets you hyped up.
Call me old school, but you know what? And this will be really bad. Kind of dating myself here. Yes, I can date myself. I say just do Rollin'. Bring back the Undertaker theme. Bring back Limp Bizkit on that one.
Oh God. If they bring that back, I'm never going to a Flyers game ever again. Not that I really have an opportunity right now.
What? You don't want to see red Yankees caps rolling around? With the
Bizkit was by far one of the worst artists of all time. He was a joke. I know I'm probably going to get some flack for that, but Limp Bizkit was just flat out trash.
Says the guy who was singing along to Nookie when I was playing a pre-show one time.
That doesn't mean I don't think it's trash. I mean, that was one of the top. That was one of the dude. That was one of the most popular songs at that time. What was it, like 2002, 2001, something like that?
Yeah.
It was one of the most popular songs at the time. Like, how do you not know the words to that song?
Right. Okay.
I mean, hey, listen. You think about how many people out there that hate boy bands, hate BSB, NSYNC, New Kids, whatever. What? I guarantee you, any guy that sits there and tells you that any of those bands are trash, they know some of the words to their songs just because of how often they were played on the radio.
That's true. I mean, how many times do you go to work and you hear the same songs and you're singing along to the songs at work, even though you can't stand the
Exactly.
song?
And if you think about it now, Maddie, if you think about it now in our time and era, you couldn't skip songs when they came on back then. You can bypass it. You couldn't just sit there and be like, all right, well, I mean, you can flip the station, but now you can just skip the song. You don't have to listen to a song that you don't want to hear. Like anything Nickelback, like I can just skip over them because they're in fact trash too. They are the second worst thing to ever come out of Canada.
What's the first? Justin Bieber?
Okay, third. The first is Bryan Adams. And if I remember correctly, the mayor of Canada has apologized on several occasions about that. You didn't catch that reference. It's a South Park reference.
That is pretty funny, though.
No.
Brad,
The Canadian government has apologized to Bryan Adams on
person
several
from
occasions. Exactly.
Brad say. And Jill's Grattan ask. I actually hated hockey.
Yes. Yes. I still have a tape deck in my. No, I'm just kidding. Apparently, they're making a comeback.
What's your car? It's like, bro. Like, I mean, listen. I understand. Sometimes you got to buy a junker if you need to get it on the cheap. But Christ, no one's got to do that nowadays. Even the junkers have CD players in them.
No, I don't. No, but seriously though, I feel like they're making a comeback. I'm starting to see cassettes starting to make a comeback. Which I don't understand.
Because Ted's like Brian who?
Come on, you know Bryan Adams. You better knock that off. If you don't know who Bryan Adams is, just Google him. Actually, no, just YouTube him. Just YouTube Bryan Adams. And I think he spells it B-R-Y. Couple catchy
do you
songs.
think they should apologize for? All right. Do you think the world needs to apologize? Who do you think needs to apologize for giving us Alanis Morissette?
I actually don't mind her. I don't like her. I don't mind her.
Really?
She's not like. I mean, if I had to choose between Alanis Morissette and Taylor Swift, I'm taking Alanis Morissette every day of the week.
All right, okay, maybe. All right, if you give me that choice, then yes, I got to go with Alanis Morissette. I mean, I will never pick Taylor Swift on that.
I just think it's crazy that she crashed Ticketmaster. That blows my mind. Anyway, enough Taylor.
That
Swift.
Is actually kind of. I think that's kind of funny though. If anything, Ted's like the Beach Boys. Speaking of. Also to reiterate what I was talking about with the Funky Town. No. And Brad and Neil Young is Canadian. Oh yeah. Maybe Canada should apologize for that one.
I mean, I'd still rather have Neil Young.
I don't think people like a Neil Young.
I got no hatred towards him. I don't go out of my way to listen to his music either.
Brad saying you have to be.
I mean, you don't have to be old. He's good. He's not my cup of tea. That's all. I'd rather listen to him than a lot of other things coming out of Canada. Where's Dan Mindel when you need him? We're sitting here crushing Canada, and he's not here.
I know.
Getting drunk watching soccer somewhere. Loser.
Why Canada lost their two games in the World Cup? Why the fuck would he?
I don't know.
Let's see here.
Apparently, soccer's entertaining.
Oh, I mean, the USA won, so I mean, hey, there you go. A sport that most people in the States don't give two fucks about. Yet they beat Iran 1-0. So there you go. And let's see here. Saying the Flatliners are cool. They're from Toronto, so saw them in Philly 2 weeks ago. Well, I'm not sure what kind of music they do, to be honest with you, because if they were a metal band, I would have known. I'm assuming they are not. So, but I will say Canada has had metal bands. Can't say anything bad about that. Also, they did give us Rush. So they kind of make up for some musical mistakes by giving us one of the greatest bands that ever lived. So there you go. And rest in peace, Neil Peart.
Definitely rest in peace. He was just something special, Neil Peart. All right, let's get back to hockey here.
All right, I know. We're getting off track again, damn it. Right, so the Islanders stopped the Flyers losing, and we beat Iran. This was a good day. Yes, this was a very good day.
It's a great day.
So, go America. And we want to thank all the Canadian players who helped end the Flyers losing streak, and the American player in Kevin Hayes. And let's get started on our shootout segment. Actually, was there any league that I wanted to bring up?
Yeah, can Anaheim freaking win another game in regulation, please? There's a minute 17 left, and it's still tied 1-1. And it looked like they're trying to play for overtime right now. If they get another freaking OT win,
all right, that's
I'm
not
going to lose my fucking. I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
All right, shootout segment. Brad said 49 seconds left. Oh boy. And that is due by Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams. Sent you. And also Alonzi. And let's go to www.alonzi.travel. Take the trip. And yeah, definitely get away. Get away. Have yourself a good time. You know? And tell them that we sent you on that nice little vacation. Because life gets so stressful and all the bullshit you got to deal with. Sometimes you just need to get away. Sometimes you just need to travel to make sure it's right. Okay. Let's get into the shootout segment. And our first of the shootouts now is Flyers Islanders' favorite rivalry moment. For Brad, will be Rangers Islanders. I'm sure that'll be hard to narrow. It's there. But I'll start off. My favorite Flyers Islanders moment in terms of that, even though we lost the series, Game 6 overtime win, which if you've been watching this show, you'll see on the intro are reacting to the goal that was scored. And looking back on that, as painful as it was to lose that Game 7, what a freaking series that was between the Islanders and the Flyers in the bubble. Holy shit, that was a crazy-ass series. But the Flyers tying it up and pushing Game 7, that's probably my favorite moment there. On to Ovi getting that big goal. Bri, how about you?
I mean, that's got to be at least one in recent memory, for me at least. That, you know, I obviously you see my reaction. This is kind of it is what it was. But it was a huge goal by Provi to force Game 7, and you know it really got the rivalry kind of back to where it is now, where you're seeing a more physical game. You're seeing that. Because let's be real, a lot of the Islanders roster is still the same from that a couple years ago. So, and it was it was so different, being that it was, you know, during the middle of a pandemic, and you know there was nobody in the arena, and there was so much going on that, you know, it was a really nice escape to be able to sit there and say that we were able to watch that and bring some entertainment to some people. So to me, that was probably the best for me as well, just because we were doing a live reaction show for that and bringing entertainment to the people, and that was probably also our highest rated show ever. So that was huge as well. So there's two different sides to this. This was just kind of what I'm getting at.
True, and you know the funny part is, out of all the rivalries, the highest rate on this show, it wasn't the Flyers and the Penguins, and it wasn't the Flyers and the Rangers, or the Flyers and the Devils. It was the unlikely worse. That's what I find kind of hilarious about that.
Well, I mean, you think about it, it's Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Well, semis.
Where it was to go to the okay, it was the semis. Okay. So, but I mean, even still, you think about it, that's huge. It's that was one or two more wins and they're in. And at that point, you were bragging about how good the Flyers were. I mean, every other year you were bragging, but
right.
It's such a different team now, and it's hard for a lot of players, a lot of people to watch, and that's kind of what makes me so grateful for the people that we have that tune in every week. And despite the fact that the Flyers are not the best team right now, we still have guys like Don chiming in, and Bryce and Ted every week, and Priz, who's MIA today, and it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I appreciate them more than I do appreciate anybody else.
Of course. So definitely always fun to share those moments with everybody in the fam, and of course everybody here. And Bryce saying finally a win. Brad's, I think that was double overtime, by the way, Ted. I think that was a double OT here. And Brad saying Clark Gillies beating the hell out of Schultz in the 75-76 playoffs. And he also goes on to say, sorry, I hated Schultz. That was his favorite moment from the Isles Flyers rivalry. It's interesting always getting a Rangers
And may Clark Gillies rest in peace. That was a stinger when the NHL world lost him.
Yeah, rest in peace. And let's see here. Next up on the shootout segments, that is the biggest pretender in the NHL right now. And Brad St. Gillies was a beast. Yes, he was. He was. But biggest pretender in the NHL right now, obviously, as we go through the year and the league and everything like that, we still have the whole second half to go through. We find out who the pretenders are. Are the Devils a pretender? Are the Bruins a pretender? Are the Islanders a pretender? You always have that question in the back of your head because a team that did not do anything last year is now doing this year. Is this legitimate or is this BS? So let's dive into it. Brad is saying the Devils. That's his pick for the biggest pretender right now in the NHL. Who you got as your big pretender?
Well, I mean, the Devils still have a lot of questions, and they're playing really good hockey right now. Let's see if they can sustain it. They're definitely under my radar as a pretender. I hate to say it, but maybe Detroit is. Oh no, I don't think Detroit's a pretender.
You don't want Don back in here.
I don't know. You see, Ted, I don't know if the Golden Knights are a pretender because they're getting really good play in front of Logan Thompson, and he's actually been playing pretty well too. But yeah, they're under my radar as well. Seattle's under my radar. I think Calgary could be a pretender, even though they're sitting at 9-9 right now. 9-9-3, I should say. I don't know. There could be a few answers to this question. I think right now, if I have to pick one, holy shit, Boston only has 3 losses. I did not realize that.
Yeah, Boston is just ripping everybody a new asshole.
I'm actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with Vegas on this one.
All right.
Just to pick a team, because I could go so many different ways with this, and I think eventually it's going to get to the point where Logan Thompson's not going to be able to hold the reins, despite the good play in front of him.
And Ted, his pick is, besides the Golden Knights, he's also throwing out the Islanders just lost to a team on a 10-game losing streak whose roster is on IR. I'd say they're frauds.
They could be.
I mean, maybe. But then again, Hart made pretty much the difference, and he's done that before. So I don't know. We'll see. If the Islanders start going on a cold streak here, yeah, then you can really come into that conclusion.
Come on, Rico.
But by the way, Ted also said Ducks in the T.
Yeah, they're playing a very patient 3-on-3 right now. Oh, Z, don't get fancy.
I will say
Ah!
my biggest fraud right now, or my biggest pretender.
Oh, what a
I
huge
am going to say the
save.
Devils. I'm going to say the Devils too. Honestly, I feel like, I'm just suspicious of them. It's like, who. I feel like it's like, when.
Oh,
Obviously, Brad was ahead of you because he called the goal earlier.
I didn't even look. I'm just looking now. Yeah, freaking Roman Yossi. God damn it. Why is he so good? He is
Because
so
he's just
stupid
got a
good. Like,
God-given
he's
talent.
ridiculous. But why does he have to be so good? Why can't he just be okay? Why does he have to be one of
Listen,
the best defensemen in the game?
I ask myself that question of David Pastrnak every time we face the fucking Pasta. Why do you have to be a great player? Why can't you just suck ass, please? Can the Bruins have shitty players? I think we could all do without them being good for a good long while. Maybe a good fucking couple generations of them being a dead last place team. That'd be nice. Be a good break.
But
Great.
I have so much respect for Roman Yossi. I love the guy. He's one of my favorite defensemen to watch. Like, he just snuck in, and Granlund did a great job starting to play to Ryan Johansson. And he just snuck in there. Nobody had any idea he was there. He just snuck it. Why is he so good? I hate him. I love him.
Brad was saying, what a great shot.
It really was. It was a great play by Nashville there. Great heads-up passing there by Michael Granlund and Rijo.
So I'm gonna to finish up what I was gonna say. I'm gonna say the Devils. I just don't feel like can the Devils sustain what they're doing right now. I don't think they can. I think the Devils can still. I will say this: are the Devils capable of making the playoffs? I think they can. I actually think they will. However, do I think that they'll be one? No. I think they're going to sustain that. I think if they're going to get in, they're either going to get in third place or they'll get in. But I don't think that I don't think they sustain what they're doing right now. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to, for me, it's hard to go against the Devils because I think they have all the right pieces in place, especially with the young guys. You know, you got Nico Hersher really starting to break out. Jack Hughes is starting to break out. Luke is coming up. Jesper Bratt is proving to be the player that they wanted him to be. And then you go out and you bring in a Dougie Hamilton last year. You go out and get Andre Palat this year. You know, you're giving support to Mackenzie Blackwood, who's playing better. And then you have what's his name from Washington they traded for? What the hell's his name? Vanacek. You know, so yeah, I think this roster is built to win. I think it's a good question to ask: is can they sustain it? Honestly, I think they can with the veterans they have in the lineup. They have leaders.
Well, they definitely have leaders. I can't say they don't. Brad was saying, wait till they get a claim saying Graves on that one, but also he miswrote it and said cookie of injuries, and I just actually thought, you know what? Maybe one of the Rangers' wives or girlfriends could go over to the Devils and just say, "Hey, got you some cookies, guys. Yeah, I know you're gonna come play us real soon." And then the cookies are laced with something, and they all get the shits or something like that. So they play like garbage. That would be hilarious.
I hate to be the ref
I'm just
that
saying.
night.
Slap shot shit right there, but it would be great.
I hate to be the referee that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Savannah is gone. I mean, he brings up a valid point because a
That's
key
true.
injury to the right player totally derails what the Devils are doing.
Ted said they put acid.
Hey, listen, just make sure you got a safety buddy if you're doing it. Make sure you got a safety buddy. If you do acid, you got to make sure you have somebody sober with you that knows how to handle that.
They do. They do. It's called the Blue Shirts of Broadway. I don't know how safe it'll be, but they'll be there for them.
What did Ralphie May call him? I think it was actually really funny that he brings this up because I was watching Ralphie May's stand-up comedy, and he was talking about how he went on an acid trip with his buddy, and he was talking about, it's like, yeah, if you ever do acid, never do it alone. I'm like, oh, okay, good tip. And he said, a little dab will do you. I'm like, okay, good tip. Good tip number 2. If I ever decide to do acid, just one dab. Make sure I have a friend. He called a safety safe, and I just think it's ironic that Ted brought that up, and I actually just watched that last night. If you haven't watched Ralphie May, you should. He's hysterical.
By the way, Ted said Boston went from pasta wanting out because they fired the coach to being the best team in the league. Boston never can have it where all their teams are bad ever. Yeah. Okay, then. So then what that means, either one of two things is going to happen. Either it's got to get good again so that the Bruins can get bad, or the Celtics have to get better. I'll be nice to you, Brad. I will not say the Red Sox have to get better. I will spare you that pain. Brad said,
I mean, I would say
that had something to do with it, probably.
I mean, if you think about it, they made some really good moves at the deadline last year, acquiring Hampus Lindholm, who they needed because Charlie McAvoy was out, and I think he's missing time now too. And Hampus Lindholm has been a great addition to that defense. As long as they have Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak, this team is always going to be able to compete. Because those are 3 guys you want in the locker room that know how to make everybody around them better, especially Bergeron.
And they were just in the NBA Finals last year. Swayman is outstanding. Yeah, he's a real.
Oh, he's been really good too. He's really taken a step
Although
forward.
I think Brad accidentally gave him a new nickname, Swagman. Literally, he should just use that as his nickname at this point. Just go on and call himself Swagman.
Yeah. He may have to call him Swagman. I mean, Boston has 3 losses in November. 3 losses. We're in December in 2 days. They have 3 losses.
I really do hope, though. Brad said it's a
take the
typo,
credit,
though.
Brad.
I can't. You know what, though? I don't think he wants the credit, honestly, because the last thing he wants to know is like, yeah, you know that was a Rangers fan who came up with that nickname, because then he'll get ousted, and then all the Rangers fans, bro, what the fuck? You seriously gave the hell's wrong with you? I don't think he wants that.
Listen. You'll get the credit on the show, but if anybody asks outside of the show, I'll let you take the credit. Outside of the show.
Brett said that was good.
Yeah, Don, I'm with you. I mean, I've been saying that about the Maple Leafs the last 2 years that they can go far. I thought last year was going to be the year. But, I mean, we'll see. I still don't like their goaltender situation.
It looked like it was going to be. I mean, they were trading blowouts with them and the Lightning, and then it just so happened the Lightning woke up and said, hey, you know what? We're 2-time defending champs. We're not supposed to lose to these guys in the first round, right? Like, yeah, they can't win in the first round. Okay, we're not going to lose to them now. And then they decided not to, and they won Game 7 and went on to go on a bit of a run there. But, yeah, I will say this now. If the Leafs get out of the first round, I don't care. It could be this year, next year. They're going to go all the way to the finals. It's going to happen. They're going to go all the way because then it's going to be like, you know what? They're going to do what the Capitals did. Because the Capitals, when they finally beat Pittsburgh, they went and won a fucking cup. They had to beat Pittsburgh to do it. That's what it is. All the Leafs got to do is get out of the first round. And then they're going to go all the way, represent the East in the East. Or in the East. They're going to represent the East Stanley Cup Finals. And I bet you if they win a cup, I wouldn't be surprised. I hope not. But, you know. Brad said, I agree. That is how the Islanders dynasty started. True, because they were considered chokers in the 70s until they got that first one in 1980.
Here's my problem. I think defensively they're good. I think offensively they're one of the top teams in the league, and special teams wise, I think they're again one of the top teams in the league. But I think losing Jack Campbell and replacing him with Ilya Sorokin, or not Ilya Sorokin, Ilya Samsonov, I think is a huge downgrade from Jack Campbell from last year. And I thought Jack Campbell played really, really well. To me, it's until they get that goaltending situation figured out, it doesn't matter who's in front. I just don't think they're good enough to get out of the first round. And they may prove me wrong this year. But, I mean, Mitch Marner's doing his thing. Austin Matthews is doing his thing. William Nylander's doing his thing. Like, the roster's fine. It's just the goaltender is my biggest issue with this team.
We'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll see ghosts when the playoffs roll around. Ted was saying, besides Hart, who would you guys say is at the top players in the Flyers? Top three guys out of the first rounders this draft if we don't get screwed. Cutter, Lawton, Tippett. Top three guys on this team right now. Well, you would have to say Hayes, TK, even though he's hurt.
TK's having a good year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of who would the third guy be, because there's a few guys you could put in there.
I like Cutter. I think he's going to be really good for this team. I just don't think I could put him in my top three yet because there's a lot of questions surrounding him. We need to see more of him at the NHL level to really see how he's going to be as a player. But I do agree with Lawton. Tippett's having a much better year. I think he's taken a step forward this year. So you could argue Tippett into the top three. For me, he's more of a top five. But Lawton, Coots, when he's 100%, is by far top three. I'm with Brad Provy. He's the top three. Right now, Tony DeAngelo, you could argue in the top three. He's my number 4. And then, like I said, Tippett's my
Lawton
5.
In there.
Oh, I threw Lawton in there. He's my number 2 guy. Hayes is probably my number 1.
I'm going to throw I'll throw Superman in 3. Why not? You don't go against Superman. Let's see.
Well, not just that. He's a blue-collar player. He plays the game the right way.
Right. Saying, how about Murray knocking the pucks out when the other team got close to scoring? I'd say that's fairly classic Matt Murray.
Depending on the situation.
That would be the way I would describe that. Could have been.
I don't know the situation.
Who's the guys we build around the new core? Who's the guys we build around? Tippett. Tippett. Still, you can build around TK and Provy. They're still young enough. But I would say other guys, you could build around Cates. You can build around Farabee. I would say those would be the 3.
Yeah, Farabee, Coots if he ever comes back. I say you could put Lawton in there. You could put Provy in that conversation. Hayes for me. There's a couple guys on that list. And to answer your question about what I think, I love Cutter Gauthier. I think he's going to be a really good player. Because of how he played in juniors, we haven't seen him at the NHL level yet. So we can't really say too much about the type of player that he's going to be. So for me, the questions are going to be answered come training camp next year, which I believe he's going to be in. I think he's a great player. I love the pick. I love that he fell to the Flyers. But I mean, time will tell with him.
Brad saying, by the way, Ovi just scored his 403rd goal on the road, most in history. Nice.
He's really going to break the record.
It's coming. It's coming. Ovi's on his. He's well on his way.
I mean, I understand the argument of age and
All
him
right.
slowing down, but he just doesn't seem like he's slowing down.
I mean, if he misses, it'll be by like 1 or 2 goals, and by then it'd be like, well, then 2 goals to go. You know, it'd be pointless then. It'd be like, just stick around so you can break it.
Yeah, hang on one second.
see
So
here.
before we move on, and wrap this up, Ovechkin, I don't know if this has been updated tonight, is at 791, possibly 792 with the goal tonight. I don't know if it's been updated yet. He is 10 behind Gordie Howe, and he's a little over 100 behind Wayne Gretzky. And he probably still has, I'd probably say 2, maybe 3 good years left.
Yeah, I would say that.
Road goals, it's 403
geez,
road goals, Ted. He's got 403 goals on the road. He just surpassed Wayne Gretzky with that feat. But total goals, he still has about 100 to go.
So he broke a Gretzky record already. Now he's still got sights set in on. So which means if he continues down this path, he'll have probably the most home goals, and then on top have the opportunity to have the most goals. So he could break 2 more records before this is all said and done.
He possibly could. Greatest goal scorer of all time.
All right, then.
Because my computer's going to
So the last thing. All right, last thing. Hot take of the week, real fast. Bri, give me one.
Woo. Okay, so he scored twice tonight. So he's probably 8 behind Gordie Howe right now. All right, so hot take.
Jesus.
Anaheim goes on a little tear and gets 3. Oh no, let's not get crazy. 2 wins in regulation this week.
Let's not get crazy.
Let's not get bananas here and go 3. Let's go 2. Let's just relax a little.
Pull it back. Pull that a little bit.
Let me just pull it back.
All right, then. Ted, plotted a new losing streak. Not inevitable. All right. All right, so you know what? I'll do a hot take, and I'll do the opposite. The Flyers will start their rebound December, starting tonight with this win. That'll be my hot take. Brad,
I like it.
What about you?
As he types.
Yes, as he types away our final answer for the
What the fuck? Like seriously, like while Brad's typing, I was looking at we'll lose twice to. Oh, you think they fire him that quickly because he lost to the Sens? That's an interesting one.
He says, "Yep." So he really believes it.
Keeps it short and simple.
All right, how many goals do you think Giroux scores on the? Or how many goals do you think G scores on the Rangers during this? I'm gonna say 2.
He has 17.
G score.
He is 17, and the Sens win 17 to -3. Don't ask how they lose 3 goals.
That's very reasonable. Very, very reasonable there.
But all right, so
all right then.
Jesus. All right, so real quick before we go, I'm looking at the standings, and obviously I know where Anaheim stands, and they suck. I wouldn't hate that. I actually wouldn't hate that, Dave. So looking at their row, they have 2 regulation wins. 2 regulation wins. It irks me. Like, why? Why? I don't get it. I got to do some more homework on that. Maybe I'll get it next week.
Maybe. Maybe.
It just flat out pisses me off. That they
So
have,
with that,
it's
ladies
November and
and
they have 2 regulation wins. I'm blowing out Brad.
all right, so we'll finish up, and I'll just give us an update, even though it's very early in the season. This is what the playoffs would look like. Boston would be number 1 in the Atlantic, and they would take on the number 2 wild card team, or the number 1 wild card team, Detroit, and then New Jersey would take on Pittsburgh. And New Jersey would have home ice, by the way, so that's just adds more to the strangeness. The Islanders would take on Carolina, which they've actually faced each other a couple of times in history, and they were both good playoff series. I kind of would be interested in that. Dallas would be number 1 in the Central. They would be taking on Edmonton. Okay, interesting. Winnipeg would take on Colorado. Vegas would be taking on Minnesota, who they faced each other before, and Seattle would take on LA. Boy, what an interesting series that would be. Welcome to the NHL, Seattle. Here's your first playoff series, a young and hungry LA Kings team in your first playoff series. Have fun, shitheads.
I would take Seattle in that series right now.
I mean, with the way they're playing, yeah, that isn't bad at all, though. But it's not be an easy series by any stretch of the imagination. It's all right. We were heading out anyway. So for all of us here on the Hockey Happy Hour, we thank you for joining us. Get Brad back in so he can wave goodbye to everybody.
Where did I go? Oh, there he is. There I am.
Lost him.
There it is.
There you are. Anyway, we thank everybody for joining us for another edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. As always, you by the doc down there below in the corner, Dr. Paul Vidal. If you got any aches and pains, make an appointment to go see Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. Until then, guys, next week here, we'll be back, of course, live for you on a2dradio.com. And let me take a look at the old calendar here. We will not need to react to. So we will have a review of the Flyers going up against taking on that day. Of course, decided to freeze up on me there. The Colorado Avalanche. Oh, great. All right, so then we'll have a review of that next time when we see you guys right here on a2dradio.com. Until then, everyone, peace and love. Stay safe. Stay healthy. We'll see you next week.